Welcome back to another episode of Nightmares and News, where we pride ourselves on bringing you spooky updates on all things horror and the latest in horror news. Make sure to follow so you never miss an update from the Horror Burrito, because today we talk Asobo Studio Resonance, A Plague Tale Legacy. Release is almost here. Ever since Resonance, A Plague Tale Legacy was first revealed a year ago during Summer Game Fest, Asobo Studio and Focus Entertainment have been mum on the follow-up to 2022's A Plague Tale Requiem. That's all changed now, with the dev team having recently dropped a new devlog, which sheds more info on the prequel, including hints of its impending release. It's been a year now since we revealed Resonance, A Plague Tale Legacy, and 4 since A Plague Tale Requiem release, reads the statement from the studio. In the quiet of Asobo Studio's office, our team wondered how A Plague Tale universe would live on. Now the release is almost here. Soon you'll face countless dangers alongside Sophia and her sidekick. Resonance, which is set 15 years earlier before the events of A Plague Tale Requiem, sees players step into the boots of Sophia, a fierce young plunderer who briefly appeared in Requiem, who is on the run, but determined to uncover the secrets of her past. Sophia is a renowned plunderer and smuggler nicknamed the Scorpion of the Seas. The rest of the devlog delves further into Sophia, including some character concept art. The devlog also hints at 2 additional devlogs. Gremlin's 2.5-hour assembly cut just screened in Los Angeles. Here's what we know. The legendary 2-plus-hour assembly cut of Joe Dante's original horror classic Gremlins turns out to actually exist, and it just screened for the very first time in Los Angeles. Long rumored and thought lost, this rough cut captures Gremlins before it became the film we know. A title card explains the beginning of the screening. Sourced from a 1983 first assembly VHS, it preserves deleted scenes, alternate takes, and creative paths that were ultimately left behind. The Hollywood Reporter writes in an article published last weekend, "It's a version of a movie not seen since 1983. It wasn't even supposed to still exist. But we can definitely tell you that yes, there really is a 2.5-hour cut of the Gremlins." According to the report, this rough assembly cut of Gremlins runs around 2 hours and 35 minutes long. It was unveiled as part of a secret screening attended by a select group of filmmakers and fans. This particular cut from Joe Dante's personal collection, Ian Grant from the Gremlins Museum cleaned up and digitized the footage for Dante's personal VHS tape. The cut features plenty of unseen character arcs and alternate takes. The first Gremlin doesn't even show up until an hour in. Once the nasty little buggers do, however, there's lots of time spent on them. Will Gremlins Assembly Cut ever see release outside of these secret screenings? That remains to be seen, but the good news is for now that it does exist. Residents of Evil announces Original Sin, prelude to Biohazard fan film. Not to be outdone by the new teaser trailer for the upcoming Resident Evil adaptation by Zach Krager, YouTube channel Residents of Evil is taking a cue from Andrew Sawallo and his fan film Resurrection, a Biohazard story, and The Keeper's Diary, a Biohazard story, to unveil their own fan film, Original Sin, prelude to Biohazard. To mark the 30th anniversary of Resident Evil, this non-profit production created by and for fans of the series will be directed by Brandon Salisbury, who also directed the documentary George A. Romero's Resident Evil. This film will serve as a prequel to the events of the Spencer Mansion incident. Based on Capcom's short novel Biohazard: The Beginning and the book Original Sin, Prelude to Biohazard, the story follows Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine, who are receiving a distress call, find themselves caught up in a conspiracy filled with disappearances, mysterious crimes, and terrifying creatures pointing toward the Arclay Mountains. Original Sin aims to recapture the essence of horror films from the 70s and 80s and prioritizing practical effects and traditional filming over digital resources. The project will be crowdfunded on Indiegogo, and like Resurrection, The Keeper's Diary will be available to watch for free on Ro's YouTube channel. No word yet on when the campaign will begin, but the team has dropped a teaser poster. Dangerous Games to Play summons a dark entity in first image. Production is wrapped on the horror film Dangerous Games to Play, and Deadline has summoned the first image. In the upcoming horror movie, unsuspecting teenagers who discover a book of supernatural games that allow them to contact the other side realize too late that the games are occult rituals designed by a dark entity to claim their souls. Angela Gomez Hernandez directs, while this project is based on a 2019 novel called Dangerous Games to Play in the Dark. Altitude will present the first footage for the movie at this month's Cannes Film Market while continuing international sales. New Shark Dentist trailer offers a peek at gameplay, and a new devlog released. Alice Games is still working to get Shark Dentist out the door for release later this year, but they found time to drop a new developer overview trailer for the upcoming roguelike, as well as new gameplay trailer. The new trailer provides a deeper look at gameplay, while the devlog has the dev team talking about what we're working on and how they approach decisions regarding the game, and what matters as development on Shark Dentist continues. Described as not just another horror-like rogue, but an ultimate test of a player's nerves, Shark Dentist is inspired by games like Buckshot Roulette and films like Jaws, naturally. Your task is to treat the teeth of these sedated giant predators in a dark clinic while avoiding their deadly aggression. You'll need to balance tactics, luck, and limited resources to heal your patients. At least they decide to take their annoyance out on you. The team states that they've pushed the core gameplay to the limit, with procedurally generated cavities, infections, and debuffs aimed to ensure that no two runs are the same. All while players must manage oxygen levels, pulse monitors, anesthesia doses, and more. Shark Dentist is expected to arrive later this year on PC via Steam. Poultrygiest 2: Dawn of the Chicken Dead. Bodily fluids fly in the Torma sequel. We've been served up an exclusive trailer for Torma's Poultrygiest 2: Dawn of the Chicken Dead, a follow-up to the 2006 horror comedy musical Poultrygiest: Night of the Chicken Dead. In the sequel, as a poultry pandemic sweeps the nation, a wealthy computer tycoon relaunched a failed fast food chain to introduce his lab-created synthetic chicken to the world. It's up to a misfit crew of fast food workers to fend off hungry Karens, horny rodents, and a mutant chicken zombie outbreak by the end of their shift. Mercedes the Muse writes, directs, and produces. Torma founders Lloyd Kaufman, who directed the original Poultrygeist, and Michael Hers serve as executive producers. The film features practical creatures created by Eric Fox of FX Labs and Seth McGarth of McGarth Custom Fabrication. Poultrygeist 2: Dawn of the Chicken Dead will premiere as part of the Tormathon 2026 at the Marathon Drive-In in Leeton, PA on July 17th to 18th, with additional screenings to be announced. Tales from the Crypt now streaming for the very first time on Shudder. Horror fans like ourselves have been waiting a long time for the HBO's classic series Tales from the Crypt to pop up on streaming, and Shudder is now making those dreams come true. For the first time ever, HBO's Tales from the Crypt is now streaming, and you'll find the series exclusively on Shudder as part of the year's halfway to Halloween celebration. Featuring the iconic Crypt Keeper, the series is available now to watch, with additional seasons rolling out weekly every Friday through June 12th. All 7 seasons will be present, fully uncut and uncensored. Inspired by the EC Comic Tales, each episode of Tales from the Crypt offers a self-contained story hosted by the Crypt Keeper, a wisecracking corpse known for his macabre puns, with his signature unrestricted gore, profanity, and dark irony. The show's episode styles range from comedy to drama and deliver twisted moral lessons where bad people meet poetically horrific end, and an issue like greed, lust, and moral decay lead to tragic consequences. The reopening of the Tales from the Crypt content archive is made possible by Dark Castle Entertainment. And that's all the news I have for you today, my lovely fiends. Stay spooky, keep those claws sharp, and consume more souls of the living. I've been your host, Bums of the Night, and we appreciate your viewership. If you want to help us out, make sure you click those buttons like, comment, share, subscribe, are all fantastic things that help me bring you news on the daily. Regardless, no matter what you do, just know I appreciate your viewership, and we'll scare you in the next one.